Well, confirmed. Kudos to Arsenal is not happening. Story was broken by a very huge journalist, Sami Mikbo, that Arsenal is monitoring the situation of Mohammed Kudus, and Brighton came in through. They agreed a deal with Brighton, but they failed to agree personal terms with Kudus because Kudus anticipated that maybe Arsenal or Chelsea could go in for him. But as it stands, things have not gone on as planned. It looks like it's all a different scenario altogether, and we're here to bring you the latest news and information as far as this is concerned. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I'll go by the names of Rokani David. Smash like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. We call upon for 400 likes on this video, and don't forget to obviously subscribe to see to it that we hit 17,000 subscribers before the end of this month. Today is the 18th, and we are left with just 13 days to come to the end of the month, and you guys are really special, and we call upon your support. And Juma Karim to all the Muslim viewers and subscribers of this channel. Gabri Veiga, one of the most talented players that has been onto the transfer list of Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool and very many others, has finally accomplished his move. To which team? I'm gonna let you know. And lastly, Reece James. Oh, this is another injury prone player that has gone ahead to obviously prove that he cannot be available every time the manager of Chelsea needs him. Now, let's get into the story. Mohammed Kudus. It was Fabrizio Romano who first put out this story. I think it was on the 14th of August, like 4-5 days ago, that exclusive. West Ham now open initial talks to sign Mohammed Kudus, priority in case Lucas Paqueta leaves to join Man City. Positive talks on player side. Kudus open to the move, still waiting to approach Ajax, as deal will depend on Paqueta. So, West Ham, we're really planning to obviously get in Lucas Paqueta. Get off Lucas Paqueta. As Man City, we are planning to obviously pay 70 million euros for the player, but they had their plan. Their backup plan was Mohammed Kudus. Now, after all this really happened yesterday, after it really happened like a week back, yesterday we got a story coming in from Sport 1 via West Ham Central that West Ham reached an agreement on personal terms now with Mohammed Kudus after a deal with Brighton failed. Team Sidesten is in Netherlands pushing on the deal. Clubs are in direct talks to West Ham preparing a 35 million bid to Ajax in there for you. That is it about Mohammed Kudus, and it shows you that maybe Mohammed Kudus has gone ahead to obviously get this done. Now, Fabrizio Romano just told us that West Ham have shared a new round of talks for Mohammed Kudus deal. The agreement on personal terms is closed as final points need to be discussed. Verbal negotiations ongoing with Ajax through intermediaries. No formal bid yet, but deal advancing. So, it looks like it has finally come to an end. It has finally come to an end, and it looks like Arsenal is totally off. Arsenal fans won't lie that Arteta never wanted Mohammed Kudus. The fact is, Arsenal wanted Mohammed Kudus. Fabrizio Romano confirmed it. David Austin confirmed it. Sami Mikbo confirmed it. But there's been a huge change in plan. And what is that huge change in plan? It's all about the injury of Julian Timber. It has gone ahead to change mostly everything. It has gone ahead to change mostly everything around this deal. And Arsenal have now changed their transfer plan from obviously looking in for a midfielder, all-attack midfielder like Mohammed Kudus, to looking in for a replacement of Julian Timber. If Timber was going to spend like 3-4 months, Arsenal have been okay with it. But Timber, he's going to spend 7 months out of the season, meaning that they need to bring an ideal replacement as possible, and that's why Mikel Arteta is all in out for one player of a caliber of Benjamin Pavard. That is it. So I think Mohammed Kudus rejected everything with Brighton, knowing that maybe Arsenal was coming. And the fact is, Arsenal was coming because they wanted Mohammed Kudus. But after all the Julian Timber incident, I think Arsenal have gone ahead to communicate to the entourage of Mohammed Kudus that we cannot continue to pursue this deal. And that's why Mohammed Kudus has finally made up his mind to obviously go to West Ham. Now, Mohammed Kudus, how is this going to affect his career? I think Brighton would have been a very good side for him because De Zerbi would have gone ahead to fit him into that team, and I think would have gone ahead to hit the ground running. But even at West Ham, being a versatile player, he's going to obviously fit into that team like a glove, according to me, as he has all the attributes to play under David Moyes. You know, he's both a flamboyant player and he has the physicality and intensity. You know, these are players that he would love to see come to the Premier League, and after coming to the Premier League, you obviously go in for them if at all they're really Premier League proven. I think this might be the plan of Arsenal. Why? Look at a player like Danilo at Nottingham Forest. You know, he's not the player that he was supposed to be. And I think Arsenal gets to know that, all right, we dodged a bullet into not signing him. And very many other players that I've seen come to the Premier League, like Darwin Núñez. I'm a United player, so I'm a United fan, and I believe we dodged a bullet in not signing him. That is it. When you look at people like Pau Torres coming in at Aston Villa, it's a litmus test. He puts in a very good performance. Trust me, an elite team will go for him next summer. But from Mohammed Kudus, looks like he's not coming to Arsenal. He's going to London, but he's not going to North London. He's going, I think, to East London, where West Ham is. So that's all about Mohammed Kudus, and looks like they are going to agree personal terms. A bid has not yet been submitted, but the moment personal terms are really done, a bid will be submitted. I think this is a mistake that it's one of the mistakes that it's one of the mistakes that a team of Brighton did, to first agree a deal with Brighton before they agreed a deal with the player, you know, and the player rejected the team. Then even Liverpool went ahead to do the same mistake. They had to first agree a deal with Brighton before they agreed personal terms with the player, and after agreeing a deal of £110 million, the deal was called off because the player said, no, I'm going to Chelsea. So it shows you that it's one of those things that they'll need to push day in, day out to get in those players. But I think that mode should change and they should act like West Ham. West Ham is talking to the player directly, and they're using some of the monies they got from Declan Rice to sign in players. Remember, they brought in Alvaro Fernandez, they've brought in James Ward-Prowse. Now if they bring in Mohammed Kudus, they're expecting Lucas Paqueta to move to Man City and obviously getting those monies to obviously save their day. So I think that is a very good business being done by West Ham, and their recruitment department is going to do a very good job, because I believe Edson Alvarez is one of the best CDMs I've seen, and it's going to come out and really light up the Premier League, like how Paulinho at Fulham has gone ahead to do it the previous season. That is it. Now, after that, let's go to another player that's gone ahead to obviously be the talk of town, but obviously he has not made it to the Premier League. Now, Gabri Veiga to Napoli. Here we go. Verbal agreement reached. 36 million euros deal on add-ons included to Celta Vigo for Spanish talented midfielder. 30 million euros fixed fee plus 6 million euros of add-ons on package. Documents to be prepared, and then time for medical tests. Top signing for Serie A. Now, well, as Barcelona summed up their season, they felt onto what we call a very huge beating of Veiga. Veiga beat Barcelona. I think he scored a brace, and he was an interest of many clubs like Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, Barcelona, and very many others. It shows you the level at which this player is at, and he's one of those players that have gone ahead to obviously put in performances that are really elite and world class. So when you look at Veiga, just is it 20, 21 years of age, going to Napoli, and missing out to come to the Premier League. It shows you how Napoli have gone ahead, obviously strengthen their midfield and their team. They've only lost Kim Min-jae and they've brought in Veiga, meaning that their midfield is going to be blossomed with them keeping Kvaratskhelia and Victor Osimhen, adding on Gabri Veiga, puts them in a very good position to obviously win the Scudetto again, because Juventus is struggling, Inter Milan is struggling, AC Milan is doing so. I don't see any team that's going to come out and stop Napoli as the league resumes this weekend. I don't see any team that's going to stop Napoli. And I think it's some other business that they've gone ahead to do that will obviously get them more money. In the next 1 or 2 seasons, Gabri Veiga is not going to be at Napoli provided he performs very well. And I believe he's going to perform very well because the Italian Serie A is a hit more slower, and the intensity levels are not like those at all in the La Liga, and has been playing the La Liga for a side that never had decent players. He's going to play for a team that really has some good decent players. He's going to be playing in the Champions League with Napoli, and he's going to catch the eye of many. We wish him the best of luck, but his medical is set and he's soon set to be announced as a Napoli player very, very soon. So Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool not into the game of Gabri Veiga, and they've let him go to that side. Last, let's talk about Reece James, Mr. Injury Prone. Again, Reece James has been ruled out of Chelsea's weekend visit to West Ham and could face several weeks on the sidelines after sustaining a hamstring injury in training. That's coming in from Indie Football. Now, Reece James is set to miss out on several Premier League games. This is a very huge blow to the plan of Chelsea. He's been an injury-prone player. Something has to be done. Something has to be done to this player because he's talented, but he's moving in the wrong direction as far as all these things are really concerned. To my understanding, I believe he should obviously find a better position for himself to play, because if he doesn't, things are not going to obviously move the right way, and Malo Gusto might come in through and it will overtake. Him being the captain and not being available is one of the worst things that will ever happen to a team, because you always want a captain that's going to be readily available for your team. But for Reece James, he's really losing out on very many things. To me, if he keeps himself fit, he can be the best right back in the Premier League, because he has gone ahead to show it each and every time he has been available. So guys, your thoughts on Kudus to Arsenal not happening are welcome in the comment section below. What are your thoughts about Gabri Veiga going to Napoli and Reece James being an injury-prone player? I sign out for now. See you later. I cover all the precious blood of Jesus Christ, and may the living to God bless you abundantly. Juma Karim to my Muslim viewers and subscribers all over the world. Ciao, ciao.